Hello everybody and welcome again to Talks from Uncle Trev. Today I'm joined by Ben.
Hello.
And Jacob.
Hello.
We are going to be looking at a new story over the next few weeks. The story of Joseph and his 11 brothers. Their father was called Jacob. Now, do you know all the brothers of Joseph, and do you know which mothers they go with? Well, we're going to play a little game, Ben against Jacob, to see if we can sort them out. Are we ready? Start with Ben. Off you go.
Okay. Gad. I think Gad goes under Zilpah.
That's correct.
Okay. I have Issachar.
Issachar.
I think Issachar goes with Leah.
That's correct. Ben.
Judah. I think Judah goes under Leah.
That's correct. Well done.
Ooh, I have Benjamin. I think Benjamin goes with Rachel.
That's correct. It's 2-2. Over to you, Ben.
Right. I have Joseph.
Joseph.
I think Joseph goes under Rachel as well.
That is correct.
I have Zebulun.
Zebulun.
Now I think he goes with Leah as well.
That's correct. Well done.
Reuben.
Reuben.
Leah.
That's right. Reuben is Leah.
Okay. Simeon.
Simeon.
Again, I think he goes with Leah.
That is correct. Well done. It's 4-4.
Levi. Leah as well? Wow.
That's it. That's correct, Ben.
Dan. I think
Tricky one.
Dan goes with Bilhah.
Bilhah. That is correct. 5-5. Come on, boys. Who's going to win?
Naphtali.
Naphtali. Which way does Naphtali go?
It's got to be one of these two. I'm going to say that one. Zilpah.
You chose the wrong Ben. Oh, Jacob.
I think Naphtali goes with Bilhah.
Correct. It's yours to win, Jacob.
Okay. Asher. It's between the two again. I'm going to say Bilhah.
No.
So Zilpah.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, no.
So it's a tie. It's 6-all. And I didn't show any favouritism. So our story starts when Joseph is about 17 years of age. He is going off with his brothers, Gad, Asher, Dan and Naphtali. They're going off into the fields to look after their father Jacob's sheep and goats, to look after his flocks. Now, while they're there, something really bad must have taken place. The Bible doesn't tell us exactly what, but it must have been pretty bad, because when they got back home, the first thing that Joseph did was he went to his father and he told on his brothers. He gave a really bad report about what they'd been up to. Now you can imagine, when the brothers found out that Joseph had just told on them to their dad, they weren't happy at all. Now, Jacob loved Joseph more than any of his other sons. He was his favourite. It was because Joseph was born to him when he was an older man. And the mother, of course, was Rachel, who was Jacob's favourite as well. Now, because Joseph was his favourite son, he decided to give him a really special coat. It was a coat of many colours. It would have been beautiful It would have been special. It would have been standout. Now, because he gave this to Joseph, can you imagine how the other brothers felt? They were really, really jealous of him. They didn't really like Joseph much before, but now they hated him. They really, really disliked him. Now, one night, Joseph went to bed and he had the most amazing dream. It was incredible. He dreamt that he was in a field with his brothers and they were busy binding together the sheaves of corn. When all of a sudden, his sheaf of corn stood bolt upright, and all the other sheaves of corn from his brothers, they all started bowing down to his. Can you imagine that? Now, the next day, when he woke up, he went straight to his brothers and he told them the dream. He said, "We were in a field binding sheaves of corn, and my sheaf of corn stood bolt upright, and all your sheaves of corn, they started to bow down to mine." Well, how do you think the brothers felt when Joseph told them that dream? That's right, they were really angry. They said, "Do you think that we are actually going to come and bow down to you?" And they hated him all the more. Soon after this, Joseph had another dream. This time he saw the sun and the moon and 11 stars, and they were all bowing down to him. The next day, he went and told his brothers what he had dreamt. And they interpreted it. That means that they worked out that what Joseph was saying was that they were the 11 stars and that they were all going to be bowing down to him. Oh, they were so angry. Then Joseph went and told his dad the dream. And his dad actually told him off. "Do you think that me and your mum and your 11 brothers are all going to be bowing down to you one day?" But then later, Jacob thought about the dream. He thought about what Joseph had said. He thought about it really carefully. So the first lesson that we can learn today from Joseph's story is this: it's wrong to have favourites. Jacob shouldn't have loved Joseph more than his other sons. That's where the problem started. Because he loved Joseph more and gave him that special coat, it caused his brothers to become jealous. It caused his brothers to hate Joseph. So there's our first lesson. So the second lesson that we can learn from the story of Joseph today is this: be careful, be sensible when you share things to others about yourself. You see, Joseph had these amazing dreams that God had obviously shown him. These dreams were real. These dreams were true. But was Joseph wise in telling his brothers what he had dreamt? So the third lesson that we can learn from the story of Joseph today, and probably the most important lesson, is about God. God is in control. God is the king who is sitting on his throne, and he's going to work all these different situations in Joseph's life together for Joseph's good. So whether or not Joseph goes through good times or bad times, we've got to remember that God is in control of his life and God has a plan. So we've learned 3 really important lessons today from the life of Joseph. Jacob, can you remember lesson 1?
Parents shouldn't have favourites.
That's right. And Ben, lesson 2?
Be very careful when you talk to others about yourself.
That's right. And the third really important lesson that we learn is that God is in control and he has a plan. So make sure you come back next week, folks, because we're going to find out what happens to Joseph and his brothers. So it's bye from me.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you, everybody.